Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel, and this video comes to you from Russia's Sochi. And my attention has been grabbed by North Korea's Kim Jong-un's constant missile testing. What the fuck do you want to hear from him? This guy is doing what he can. You pay no attention to him, and he is feeling a little bit bored, and he is isolated. They don't have enough food there, and some of them are starving to death, and he is seeking the attention. When all the European nations are doing absolutely well around the world, they have the food, they have their gas, they have all the amenities, and this guy has nothing. Just try to track what's happening over here, and this is really bad. They are playing with the missiles, and everybody says that he should give up the idea of just trifling with those missiles. And the United States and all the international community are trying to press this guy to give up his program. He won't do that, and he's absolutely incorrect about that, and he's making the correct moves. The U.S. and South Korea, and around the BBC article, have held a ballistic missile drill after North Korea tested long-range missile experts believe may reach Alaska, and self-restraint was all that separated armistice and war, and could be changed at any time, the two allies said. It would be a grave mistake for North Korea to think otherwise, they said. China and Russia have urged North Korea to suspend its weapons program in exchange for the hold to U.S. South Korean military exercises. The launch, the latest in a series of tests, was in defiance of a ban by UN Security Council. You can imagine that all the nations around here, they are kind of the retards, and they are playing with the fire. This guy being under the international pressure, he can put some missiles in the wrong direction, and some of the nations, even the neighboring South Korea, may be annihilated in some sense, and the blame then should be laid upon the United States and other EU and or Russia at the same time, because they press this guy. They cannot talk to him in a friendly way, or to ask him, or to give some concessions, to be able to providing some food, providing some other amenities to be able to make them feel comfortable. And that's why they are doing bad, and they should be trying to grab some attention from the international community, and this is quite natural. You can you have to do something to be able to attract attention, and he's trying to build these kind of the ICBMs to be able to reach Miami, Alaska, and the United States in general. Meanwhile, in a joint statement, Jen Vincent Brooks, commander of the U.S. forces, Korean, South Korean, and I'm just thinking about something that when the United States are testing their missiles, 9-10 bombs they are dropping on Afghanistan to be able to uproot those adultly called ISIL or something like that. Nobody says that this is against the international law and the UN Charter. They are entitled to do what they are desiring. And this is, I think, this is absolutely wrong. And you cannot press any other nation to do something when you are breaching all the international agreements and rules. You should act correctly in the first place yourself, to be able to teach a lesson to some other nations at the same time. Kim Jong-un, we are able to change our choice when so ordered by our alliance nation leaders. It would be a grave mistake for anyone to believe anything to the contrary, he said. Earlier, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson called North Korea's move a new escalation of threat. When the United States escalates the situation around the world, nobody, Kim Jong-un does tell no word to them that they are escalating the situation around the world, and warned Mr. Tillerson warned that Washington will never accept a nuclear armed North Korea. And first of all, if you don't like North Korea, own the nukes, then try to give up your own nukes, just to destroy them somewhere around the world, because the United States, as we know, has some 800 bases around the world. And Mr. Tillerson said global action is required to stop global threat, and they consider North Korea as a global threat. When for the first place, they are doing the most dangerous things around the world, taking Syria, taking Iraq, taking Libya, and a lot of other destinations around the world, where they are just performing, bringing a lot of people to bloodshed and slaughtering people around the world, and nobody blames them for that. And Mr. Tillerson said global action is required to stop global threat, and warned that any nation that provided economic or military benefits to the North or failed to fully implement UN Security Council resolutions was aiding and abetting a dangerous regime. And they are pressing other nations to not provide any assistance to North Korea, so as to squeeze them in international sanctions, and without providing any economic assistance. This is really bad. This guy's gonna keep on with his playing with his nukes, and they will be trying to develop a warhead, a rocket, or the missile able to carry some atomic warheads up to 5,700 kilometers in its range, some kind of the state-of-the-art ICBMs. They will be striving to do that. A long-range missile usually designed to carry a nuclear warhead. The minimum range 5,500 kilometers, which is equivalent to 3,400 miles. Although most fly about 10,000 kilometers. Pyongyang has previously displayed two types of ICBMs. The situation is really hard, and you can see this kind of the toy is flying high up into the sky. Let's wait and see. But I think that the United States policy with pressing Mr. Kim Jong-un is really like bullshit. Just have a look. It's Russia, Japan, China, Canada, and the United States. They are testing to be able to reach these nations, or they are just threatening them. But the United States and the world community should not play with this guy. I'm convinced here. Does North Korea really have a long-range weapon now? Some experts believe that Tuesday's test proves that it has a missile that could travel across the globe and reach Alaska. Physicist David Wright said it could reach a maximum range of about 6,700 kilometers on a standard trajectory, while South Korea's defense ministry on Wednesday put the range between 7,000 or 8,000 kilometers. You should help this guy to get out of that dire straits. He is now finding himself in. He can do nothing. You think that if he gives up his nuke program, he's gonna become a good guy and you'll love him? You'll be keeping on with your sanctions to press him harder. He's trying to free his nation with all those nukes and with all those missile tests. Nobody helps him. Nobody pays him a heed. Nobody gives him a shit about this guy. Just turn your eyes to him and go to him halfway to be able to help him in some sense. Don't press with your all your kind of the sanctions and economic assistance. You have caught North Korea from the rest of the world, and this is really bad. He'll gonna strike some of you with those missiles for your mischief doing. Let's wait and see what happens, but I think that nothing good is coming soon.